Today is Monday, March 15th, 2021, and this is your 5 minutes of Monday morning inspiration. Good morning, my name is Brandon. I'm the senior pastor of West Coast Church, and I've produced this video for you with the goal of doing two things. Number one, I want to provide you with one piece of wisdom that you can put into practice right now today that will make the quality of your life better and help you to become a top producer. And number two, my aim is to do this in under 5 minutes out of respect for your time. So let's get right into it today. I'd like to talk with you over the next 2 weeks about learning how to say no. So believe it or not, a lot of people really struggle with learning how to say no because they just simply say yes to everything. They say yes to everyone and everything, thinking that if they say yes, they're going to please everybody and they're going to accomplish their goals and dreams and everyone's going to be happy and thrilled. And the reality is they get lost in a whirlwind of activity that does not produce the kind of outcomes that they really want. So this week, today, I'm going to be talking to you about 3 things that you must learn how to say no to. And next week, I'm going to give you 3 ideas on how to say no with grace and class. So I'll tell you a quick story. When I was in college, I had a teacher that taught a class on leadership and leading people. And one day he made a comment. It really was the big takeaway I remember from his class. This has been very useful for me. He said, it occurred to me that every time that I say yes, I'm actually saying no to everything and everyone else. Now, this guy was a high producer, very busy, lots of commitments. I think he was really suffering at the time from the stress that had come from saying yes to everything and everyone. And I've watched other people really suffer, and I myself have gotten myself into a tight spot many times because I've said yes to too many things and that conflicted with what I was actually supposed to be doing in the direction I was supposed to be going. So here's 3 things today that you must learn to say no to. Number 1, you must learn to recognize and say no to purposeless living. You have to learn to live on purpose. You cannot let the day just happen to you. You've got to happen to your day. There must be tension in the line, as I like to say. So you must learn to live on purpose. And for those of you, that struggle with this idea, it's fairly simple. You have to decide what you want. You have to think about, what have I been placed on this earth to do well, with excellence? This is your purpose. So you can't live purposelessly. You have to have a direction and an aim. And by doing this, you start to have order that comes into your day-to-day activities. If you've ever trained for an athletic event, if you've ever been on a sports team or tried to learn a musical instrument, if you've ever had to go back to school or been in school to learn some new skill, you realize that you have to devote your attention at certain times to do certain things well, to practice and to get better. When you're doing that, you're saying yes because you're working towards a goal. And it becomes easier to say no. It's not time to watch television. It's not time to go out. It's not time to scroll for 2 hours on Facebook because you have something that you're working towards that requires your attention. So you must learn to say no to purposeless living. Number 2, you must learn to say no to procrastination. Some people get in this analysis paralysis or in this fear of disappointing anyone, and so they just do nothing. They just think, well, I'll just let it kind of ride and see how it works out. It never works out for the best. I'm telling you right now. You have to learn to say no to procrastination. We all feel it. All of us feel that the anxiety, we don't want to move forward or we just kind of want to wait and see. When you feel that feeling, you have to push back against it and learn to say no to procrastination. And lastly, number 3, you must learn to say no to other people's plans. Listen, the higher up you go, the more people you lead, the more you produce. You're going to get sucked into other people's plans and purposes. They're going to ask you to do things, especially if they think you're capable. They're going to want you to come here and go there and do this and do that. A lot of times they're asking you to do their job, by the way. And what ends up happening is you can get sucked into other people's plans, their plan for your life or their plan for their life that includes you helping them get what they want. With that, you have to think, okay, is this in keeping with my purpose? And since I'm living on purpose and I know what I've said yes to, the answer to this is no. So with that today, I hope you enjoyed this, that it blesses you, and I want you to remember that God cares about you, and so do I. I hope you have an awesome Monday.